Baleka and Mbete to take a decision to reschedule a motion of no confidence in President Zuma. However, the Speaker still has to contact the ANC Chief Whip, Mthembu, and the Deputy President to consider the EFF's request. EFF Spokesperson Mbuyiseni Ndlozi says the party wants the no confidence motion to be debated this week. Well, let's get a little bit more now on what that reaction is from our parliamentary reporter, Bulelani Phillip. He joins us now from our studios in Cape Town. Bulelani, good afternoon to you. We've been dealing with what might have happened last night. We've been dealing with what's happening now. But take us through what's happening in the terms of the opposition's reaction to all of this.
Well, good afternoon to you, Natasha, and to the viewers. Essentially, the issues that we are waiting for now is whether that 1 o'clock deadline that has been given to the National Assembly Speaker by the EFF will be met or not, because that is going to be a determining factor as to whether the EFF is going to go to court to try and compel the Speaker to actually reschedule that motion of no confidence in President Jacob Zuma this week. Whether the Speaker is going to respond to that particular request by the EFF, that is something that remains to be seen now. But what we do know from the spokesperson of Parliament is that he had said that, the Speaker had actually responded to the request, but is now in a process of consulting with the Chief Whip of the majority party, Mr. Mthembu, as well as the leader of government business, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa. Now, in terms of whether the EFF is going to accept that the Speaker has responded, but yet without an answer that is definitive, whether they will accept that also remains to be seen. But what we do know for now is that, over and above all of these consultations with the Chief Whip as well as the leader of government business, we've heard that this afternoon that tomorrow morning the Chief Whips of all the parties in Parliament will be convening at 8 o'clock in the morning. But interestingly enough, there is no agenda that is put out for that particular meeting. But of course, one can assume that amongst other issues that will have to be discussed there is when would this issue of the motion will have to be rescheduled or not.
Absolutely, and based on what the EFF and the opposition have said is that they want the National Assembly dissolved, but that all depends if they can get the numbers, if they can get the ANC to agree to this dissolution of the National Assembly.
Yes, definitely, Natasha. In the press briefing that they held yesterday, they said that that is the second leg of their fight in terms of ensuring that, this Parliament, which has been found wanting by the Constitutional Court, is actually dissolved. They are saying that after this issue of the motion of no confidence has been finalized, their next step is going to be actually moving for the dissolution of Parliament because they want fresh elections to be held. And their argument is that, Parliament has been found wanting on at least 2 occasions with regards to being able to carry out their, mandate without fear of favor. In one of those examples was the issue relating to the remedial actions of the public protector, and the second issue was the issue of taking action against President Jacob Zuma for failing to uphold the constitution. So they are saying that in the main is that the MPs that are here in Parliament have actually also been tainted by those rulings, and that if you continue with those kind of people, you actually have a Parliament that is not credible. Hence, they feel that the dissolution of Parliament and having fresh elections will actually ensure that the people who serve in this Parliament are actually people who are credible and fit and proper.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Bulelani, for now, we'll leave it there. Thanks so much for that. Our Bulelani Phillip, live from our parliamentary studios in Cape Town, just discussing some of the avenues that the opposition parties are looking at taking. And they, of course, have called for Parliament to be dissolved, as he was saying, and for early elections to be held. But just how possible is all of this? I mean, given that the country has already scheduled to have elections next year in 2019, they do need a parliamentary majority. They do need the ANC to come on board with this question of having elections earlier. We did speak to the independent